Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Liaquat Zaman, and I hope all of you guys are enjoying Mukhtasar al-Qudoori. Right, so let me know in the comments as well if you guys are following the Kanz. So if you guys are following the Kanz series, put in the comments, guys, down there. And yeah, so let's start. Okay, so وَيُؤَذِّنُ لِلْفَائِتَةِ. So أَذَّنَ يُؤَذِّنُ تَأْذِينَ, which means to give adhan, the calling, the prayer that we talked about last time. Al-Fa'ita is from Fata Yafutu. Okay, so Fata Yafutu, not fight. Yeah, if any of you guys used to watch Street Fighter. So Fa'ita, so it's from Fata Yafutu, means to miss, right? To miss something, for something to go by. So Fa'ita. And here it's actually a sifa of the mawsuf. The mawsuf is actually as-salat al-fa'ita. Right? So the ta over there is because of that. So as-salat al-fa'ita. Fatathu salawatun. Okay, you guys should know what salat means. Adhana, we've done that. Ula, again, it's the same thing. So ula means first and it's feminine. What's the masculine for ula? Put in the comments if you guys know. What is if ula is feminine? So as-salat al-ula, the first salat. Aqama is from aqama yuqimu iqamatan, which means to, we mentioned this before, to make erect or stand up. Mukhayyar is ism maf'ul. From khayyara yukhayyiru. Khayyara. So it's khayyara. And then you got fi thant iqtasara yaqtasiru iqtisaran, which is from qasar, which means to kind of just suffice with, ifti'al. Okay, you got yambaghi is ba ghain ya, and then you've got okay, those tuhur, it means purity, but here it refers to wudu. Okay, although it just generally means purity, but here's wudu. Yukrahu, kariha yakrahu is from majhul, it means to dislike something. Right, dislike. Yuqim, we've done that before. Right, ala wudu and yu'adhina wa huwa junub. Junub, you guys should know that as well. Right, put in the comments if you know what junub is. It's come several times. للصلاة قبل دخول وقت إلا في الفجر عند أبي يوسف. خلاص. تركيبنا. يؤذن is فعل plus it's the fa'il. للفائتة is jar and the majroor. Yuqimu is the fi'l plus the fa'il. Waw is the ataf. Remember, fa'ita is basically the sifa of the mawsuf, and the Arabs generally skip out mawsuf for some reason. I don't know why. They just skip out mawsuf sometimes just to make it short, maybe. So you kind of have to just know that fa'ita means the missed one. Yeah, and that's referring to salat. Okay, fatat is fi'l, and who is the maf'ul bihi? Salawat is the fa'il. Okay, one thing, what sigha is salawat? Salawat, right? What sigha is it? What kind of jama is it? Adhan is fi'l plus the fa'il. Ula jar majroor. Waw is ataf. Aqam is fi'l plus fa'il. Wa kana mukhayyaran. Waw is ataf. Kana is the fi'l naqis plus the ism that is already inside of it. Mukhayyaran is the khabar, fi is jar, al-thaniyati is majroor, in is shart, sha'a is fi'l plus the fa'il, adhana is fi'l plus fa'il again, waw is ataf, and aqama is the fi'l plus the fa'il, wa in sha'a. So in is shart, sha'a is fi'l plus fa'il, iqtasara is fi'l plus the fa'il again, ala is jar, and iqama is the majroor. Oh, so if you're thinking why I'm going so fast, well, it's quite easy, straightforward. I mean, if you're finding it too fast, you can actually slow it down, If you go into the video, you can actually slow down the playback and you can listen to me in a slower pace, like that he's speaking like this. Okay, وَيَنْبَغِي. Yanbaghi is fi'l. An is the masdariya nasab. يُؤَذِّنَ, fatha there is the fi'l plus the fa'il. Waw is ataf. يُقِيمَ, same thing again. Fi'l plus the fa'il, you get fatha. Ala is jar. Tuhur is majroor. Tuhurin. Right, let's put two kasras there. Fa'in. Then all of this is the fa'il of yanbaghi. Okay, all of the an. فإن شرط أذن is فعل plus تفاعل, على is jar, غير is مضاف, wudu is مضاف إليه. Okay, so you got all that, and then put them together. That's going to become, you guessed it, majroor. Right, so jaza is fi'l plus tafa'il, and then yukrahu is fi'l majhul. Okay, this is fi'l majhul, and the naib file is all of this. An yuqima, nasab, yuqima is the fi'l plus tafa'il, ala is jar, غير mudaf mudaf ilayhi, and then all that becomes the is ataf. Yu'adhin is fi'l plus tafa'il, وهو جنب واو حالية. حال, right? If you have come across حال before, huwa is mubtada, junub is the khabar, and then all of that becomes the fa'il, naib fa'il of yukrahu. ولا يؤذن and fi'l plus fa'il لصلاة فعل plus فاعل, لي is jar, صلاة is majroor, قبل is مضاف ظرف, and دخول is مضاف again, and وقتها is مضاف مضاف إليه becomes ظرف. إلا الاستثناء في الفجر عند أبي يوسف, عند is مضاف, أبي يوسف مضاف مضاف إليه. Right, why is Yusuf, why does he have single fatah? Put in the comments. Why not Yusufin with two kasras? Now, there's one thing over here. When you have something like this, where you say قبل دخول وقتها إلا في الفجر, then you always assume before the إلا, you always assume في أي حال إلا في الفجر, like that. So before إلا, you hide the sentence في كل حال or في أي حال. Okay, righty. Let's carry on then. Okay, let's explain this mas'ala to you guys now. So, what is happening in this mas'ala? So basically, you have in here several masail. One is, for example, like, imagine there's a person who misses their salat. So a group of people, let's say, missed their salat. They didn't give the adhan. So they missed their fajr. Fajr was at 6, let's say. They've woken up after sunrise. And now they got to do their qada, obviously, the missed prayer. But now when they make up their missed prayer, do they have to give adhan or not? So yes, they should give adhan. Yeah, and iqama. Both adhan and iqama should be given by these people. Okay. Now, although the book mentions just yu'adhin, he gives, it's generally understood that this is in the context of a jama'ah, where a group of people, because a person on their own doesn't necessarily have to give adhan. The idea of adhan and iqama is for a group. So we assume from this text that he's referring to jama'ah, right? So if you're in a group or something and you miss your fajr, so you kind of ideally you do give adhan and you give iqama, because the idea is the qada should be done exactly the same as the ada, how the ada should have been done. Now, if you are unfamiliar with these terms qada and ada, I've actually got a video. What I'll do is I'll put a link in the corner where there's some of my pre-recorded courses, and there's one called the Usul Fiqh 28 lessons, and in there I cover all of Hanafi Usul Fiqh, and it's for someone who hasn't studied anything, so it's very, very useful for them. And you can follow that, and in there explains like background how Usul works, how Usul Fiqh and Hanafi Madhab works. So a lot of these terms are used there. So anyway, so this is if it's one salat you missed, right, and the jama'ah. But what if there's multiple salats? Then what happens? You miss 5 salats, 10 salats, whatever. So in that case, what happens is that for the first salat, you should do adhan and iqama. Okay? So first salat, so let's say a person misses fajr, a person misses dhuhr, and a person misses asr as well. So for the first salat, the group should do the adhan and they should do iqama for the salat as well. Okay, so you've got the adhan and then you've got the iqama. So both of these should be done. Now, on the other hand, the other salats, do you have to give adhan and iqama? Because technically adhan is there to tell people, you're going to pray and all that. So it's like, because they've missed the salat anyway. So this is why the Hanafis say you don't have to give the adhan and iqama for the other two. It's up to you. It's a choice basically. Right, so you can either give adhan and iqama if you want, fine, or you can just do iqama, totally fine. because normally you're going to be praying them one after the other, aren't you? So like if you had like 3 salats that you missed, right? You're going to get everyone together and you're going to pray them, back to back. So for the first one, you give adhan and iqamah, and the second 2, you got a choice. Either adhan iqamah or just do iqamah on its own. That's fine. So if you look at the text, وَيُؤَذِّنُ لِلْفَائِتَةِ, he should give adhan for the missed salats, وَيُقِيم, and give iqamah. فَإِنْ فَاتَتْهُ صَلَوَاتٌ, if many prayers are missed. And see, the Arabs, when they say missed, in English we say, I missed a prayer. But the Arabs say the prayer missed him. So that's why I'm translating like this. فَإِنْ فَاتَتْهُ صَلَوَاتٌ, if multiple prayers, salawat, miss him, أَذَّنَ الْأُولَى, he gives adhan for the first and iqamah. وَكَانَ مُخَيَّرًا, خَيَّرَ يُخَيِّرُ, to give a choice. He has given a choice. في الثانية, regarding the second, إن شاء أذن وأقام, if he wishes, he can give adhan and iqamah. وإن شاء اقتصر على الإقامة, he can suffice just with the iqamah. Right, so وينبغي أن يؤذن ويقيم على طهر. Next masla. Right, so let's say for example there is a person and he wants to give adhan. Ideally when you give adhan, make sure you're clean, right? Wudu, ghusl, this is the ideal way, just like, for prayer. But the question that obviously comes is, do you really have to be in the state of adhan, wudu and ghusl? Because if you think about it, it's not prayer, is it? It's a kind of just like a verbal utterance. So therefore, it's also not like Quran as well. So therefore it's dhikr. And dhikr, technically, you don't need to have ghusl and wudu for it. Right? You can do it without. Ideally, yes, you should have wudu and ghusl for it. So he says basically, if you have wudu for adhan, excellent, good idea. And if you don't have wudu, then no problem. It's not really, such a bad problem. It's permissible, right? It's not ideal, but you won't be like kind of like blameworthy. But if you, so that's better. But what about iqamah then? So what about iqamah? So if a person is doing, remember, adhan takes place when the salat time starts. And between the salat time starting and the jama'ah commencing, there might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, right? There could be a gap. So a person doing ghusl, right? If a person needs wudu rather, you give adhan, you come back, do your wudu, and you can make it for the salat without missing anything, isn't it? Now, what about if it comes to the situation where it's iqamah? So iqamah is like right immediately before the jama'ah starts, isn't it? So iqamah, would you need wudu for iqamah? So technically you wouldn't, but the issue is that because you're going to kind of end up missing salat. Because like if you give iqamah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, and then you go to do wudu and come back, you're calling people to salat and yourself, you're walking out. So it doesn't look nice, does it? So they say that for iqamah, you should have wudu. And if you don't have wudu, the iqamah will be done, but it's going to be considered to be makruh, disliked. Right? So no wudu is considered makruh. Okay, so tick there and let's put a sad face. I'm unhappy, disliked. Right? So disliked. Alright, what about if you were to do wudu without ghusl? So we know wudu, what would you do? Adhan without wudu, without ghusl. What would you do if you did adhan without ghusl? So adhan without ghusl, what do you guys think? So they say it's actually considered to be disliked as well, right? So it's not like not having wudu. So Imam Quduri assumes it to be disliked, right? Sad face again. Okay. So he says, وَيُكْرَهُ أَنْ يُقِيمَ, it's makruh, disliked, to give iqamah ala ghayri wudu'in, not in the state of wudu. Or yu'adhina, or he gives adhan whilst he is junub, in the major ritual impurity. Alright, final masala now. Before a salat, now what's the whole point of adhan? The whole point of adhan is to make people aware of salat time, isn't it? So technically you shouldn't be allowed to give adhan before fajr, right? That should be the arguments. That's why the Hanafi say adhan should never be given before a salat time starts. So let's say fajr is at 6 a.m. You shouldn't actually give adhan before 6 a.m. because it doesn't make sense. Your whole point of your adhan is you're notifying the public, right guys, everyone, you can pray your salats now. But if you're basically giving adhan before Fajr, you're kind of misleading them. So the Hanafi say no. Abu Yusuf, on the other hand, he actually allows it. And the reason why he allows it is because this was actually something which was practiced in Medina. There used to be an adhan before Fajr. But the Hanafi say, well, okay, is that really an adhan for Fajr, or was that an adhan for suhoor, sehri, and tahajjud? So, I mean, you might have seen it in like Masjid al-Haram if you've been to for Umrah or Hajj, or in Masjid al-Aqsa. Over there, they have the tahajjud adhan. So, just be aware of that. So, Abu Yusuf takes that position and says you can have a prior adhan for Fajr only, though. Only for Fajr, not for any other prayer. So, if you look, he says, وَلَا يُؤَذِّنُ لِصَلَاةٍ قَبْلَ دُخُولِ وَقْتِهَا. Right, so imagine there's sunrise. Okay, so we obviously expect the adhan to be given after, isn't it? So, prior, before, only Abu Yusuf rahimahullah seems to be saying this. Okay, so he says, وَلَا يُؤَذِّنُ, he should not give adhan لِصَلَاةٍ for any salat قَبْلَ دُخُولِ وَقْتِهَا, before the entry of its time, إِلَّا فِي الْفَجْرِ, except for Fajr, in the Abu Yusuf, according to Abu Yusuf. Hope that makes sense, guys. Just have a look at what we covered today, try to make a picture of it, try and understand it, and try to read other books as well. Right, so some other Hanafi texts, try to read them, and you'll find they complement each other. Anyway, so let's have a look at the questions for today then. So today's questions are: do you give adhan for missed prayers? Do you give iqamah for missed prayers? What is the ruling of not having wudu for adhan? What's the ruling of not having wudu for iqamah? Who allows adhan before Fajr? So jazakumullah khair, guys, and thank you very much for watching this video. Hit the likes if you haven't hit the likes, subscribe, and also share these videos with other people as well. And jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Thank you very much to all my patrons. Jazakumullah khair. Alhamdulillah, with all of your support, with all of your efforts and your encouragement and motivation, alhamdulillah, this channel has reached where it has today. And there's so much left that I want to do, and there's editing, and there's trying to start new projects as well and get other people involved so that I can focus on producing content. So if you guys want to become patrons and you want to support this channel, then check out the link in the description. Inshallah, there's also videos available for those who are patrons in the Patreon itself that I don't put on my normal YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check that out, inshallah, links in the description, like I said. And jazakumullah khair, share it with other people. Let me know what you guys think as well. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.